Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to see the most important thing. Yes, we are going to discuss previous year question paper, that is December 2019 session. We are going to discuss the previous year questions along with the answers and the explanations for it. So let us move on. So the first question is, which two of the following are correct about TDS certificates? TDS is tax deduction at source certificates. So the options are TDS on non-salary payment form 16, TDS on salary payment form 16A, TDS on sale of property form 16B, TDS on rent form 16C. So we have to choose the options. So the options are A and B, C and D, A and D, or B and C. So which two are correct? So the answer for it is B. That is TDS on sale of property form 16B and TDS on rent, that is form 16C. That is TDS on sale of property is form 16B and TDS on rent is form 16C. So that is the correct answer. Whereas form 16 is applicable for salaried individuals by companies and form 16A is applicable for non-salary payments such as professional fees and rent. So the next question, which one of the following is not correct according to the Consumer Protection Act? The options are district forum shall consist of a lady social worker, state commission shall consist of person who is or has been a judge of a high court, district forum shall consist of 4 members, national consumer disputes redressal commission shall consist of a person who is or has been a judge of the Supreme Court. So the correct option is district forum shall consist of 4 members. That is, district forum shall consist of 4 members is not correct according to the Consumer Protection Act out of the 4 options. So the explanation, each district has a district forum. So the district forum consists of 3 members, that is judge, and out of that one of the members shall be a woman. So the other 3 options are correct. So option C is the wrong one. So that is the answer for this question. Next one is, which of the following statements are correct? Dividend payout ratio refers to that portion of total earnings which is distributed among equity shareholders of the company. Bird in hand argument is given by Gordon's model. Model suggests that dividend payment is very relevant for the value of the firm. Walter's model suggests that dividend payment does not affect the market price of the firm. So the options are A and B, A and C, B and C, and C and D. So the correct option is A and B. That is, dividend payout ratio refers to the portion of total earnings which is distributed among equity shareholders of the company, and bird in hand argument is given by Gordon's model. These two are the correct options. So let us see the explanation. So the dividend payout ratio is the proportion of earnings paid out as dividends to shareholders, which is expressed as percentage. Then for option B, the bird in hand theory was developed by Gordon and John Linter as a counterpoint to the Modigliani-Miller dividend irrelevance theory. So option C and D are wrong. So for model, it suggests that dividend payment is irrelevant for any firm. Here it is given it is relevant for the value of the firm in the options. So that is wrong. It is irrelevant for any firm because dividend paid does not affect the capital structure. And then Walter's model of dividend payment indicates that dividend payment affects the market price of the share. Here in the options it is given Walter's model does not affect the market price of the share. Walter's model suggests that dividend payment does not affect the market price of the share, which is wrong. So option A and B are the correct options. So the next question is, what is the typical sequence in which the following selection devices are used by the company? So here is the sequence. that is in a mixed order, that is reference checks, physical examination, application blank, hire, conditional offers, more interviews, screening interviews, tests. So the correct option here is A, that is first will be application blank, then will be screening interviews, then will be tests, then will be more interviews, then will be reference checks, then it will be conditional offers, then it will be physical examination, and the last is hiring. So this is the sequence of selecting any employee. So the next question is match the tests with suitable situations of their application for hypothesis testing. So here they have given the various tests and they have given the application of each test. We need to match it. So the tests are Z-test, ANOVA, chi-square test and Kruskal-Wallis test. And then these situations are comparing the difference in the mean value of more than 2 sample groups, then testing the significance of the difference between average of 2 large sized sample groups, then comparing the difference in the mean values of more than 2 sample groups, and then testing the significance of the association between 2 attributes. So let us see the matching option, that is for Z-test. So what is Z-test? It is a large sample test. So for A it will be 2, that is testing the significance of difference between averages of 2 large sized sample groups. Next is ANOVA. So what is ANOVA? ANOVA will be comparing the differences in the mean values of more than 2 sample groups. Then next one is for chi-square test. Chi-square test is association between 2 attributes. So testing the significance of association between 2 attributes. The next is Kruskal-Wallis test. So Kruskal-Wallis test is a parametric test. So it will be comparing the differences in the mean values of more than 2 sample groups. So option C is the right answer, that is for A it is 2, for B it is 3, for C it is 4 and for D it is 1. So the next one is which of the following are true about conditions according to the Sale of Goods Act. Here they have given various aspects and we have to select which one is the correct one for Sale of Goods Act. So title, description, quiet possession, encumbrances. So the options are A and E only, B and C only, A, C and D only, and A and B only. So the correct answer is A and B only. That is title and description are only the conditions which are applicable in Sale of Goods Act. The other conditions which are applicable are buyer, seller, ownership and price. So Sale of Goods Act includes title to the goods, description of goods, buyer, seller, ownership and price. So these are all the elements of contract of sale. So the next one is which one of the following is the correct sequence of various stages of operating cycle of a manufacturing company. So we have 4 options. First one is raw material conversion period, work in progress conversion period, finished goods conversion period, receivables conversion period. Then the second option is raw material conversion period, work in progress conversion period, creditors payment period, receivables conversion period. Next one is creditors payment period, raw material conversion period, receivables conversion period, work in progress conversion period. And the fourth option is raw material conversion period, finished goods conversion period, work in progress conversion period and receivables conversion period. So the answer is option A, that is raw material conversion period, then it will be work in progress conversion period, then it will be finished goods conversion period and finally it will be receivables conversion period. So the explanation, the operating cycle of any business starts from raw material conversion, that is converting the raw material first, then it will be transferred to work in progress, then it will transfer to payments, then it will transfer to receivable and then it will transfer to cash. So option A is the right answer for this. Next one, which among the following are not qualified to be appointed as auditor of a company? So let us see the options. Option A is an individual who is a chartered accountant and holds a certificate of practice as per CA Act, that is Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Then a limited liability partnership firm which has all partners as chartered accountants. Option C is officer or employee of a company who is qualified chartered accountant degree holder 2, and option D is any chartered accountant whose appointment will result in the person being the auditor of more than 10 companies. So we have to choose the correct option. So the options here given are A and B, B, C and D, C and D, A, B and D. So the right option is C and D, that is officer or employee of a company who is qualified chartered accountant and a degree holder too, and then any chartered accountant whose appointment will result in the person being the auditor of more than 10 companies. So these two persons out of the 4 options are not qualified to be appointed as auditor of a company. So who will be qualified? Any individual who is a chartered accountant and holds certificate of practice, and any limited liability partnership firm which has all partners as chartered accountants. So let us see in detail who all will be qualified to be appointed as an auditor. So according to the provisions of section 141 subsection 2 of Companies Act 2013, a firm including liability partnership who are chartered accountants shall be authorized to act as auditor and sign on behalf of such limited liability partnership firm. So according to this section, this 141 and subsection 2 of Companies Act 2013, any limited liability partnership who are chartered accountants, who comprise of chartered accountants, shall be authorized to be an auditor of the company. So a person shall be appointed as an auditor if he is a chartered accountant within the meaning of Chartered Accountants Act 1949 and holding valid certificate of practice and acting capacity as an individual, partnership firm and limited liability partnership. So all these three are, that is individual, partnership firm and limited liability partnership, can be appointed as an auditor if they hold the valid certificate of practice. So the next one, which two of the following are the functions of WTO, that is World Trade Organization? To facilitate the implementation, administration and operation of trade agreement, to carry out periodic reviews of trade policies of its member countries, to assist in the establishment of a multilateral system of payments, to promote international monetary cooperation. So the options are A and D, B and C, C and D and A and B. So the correct option is A and B. So the two main functions of WTO are to facilitate the implementation, administration and operation of trade agreement, and to carry out periodic reviews of the trade policies of its member countries. So the main functions of WTO: administering WTO trade agreements, then providing forum for trade negotiations, then handling trade disputes, monitoring members' trade policies, providing technical assistance and training to developing and least developed economies, cooperating with the other international organizations. So these are the main functions of WTO. So administering WTO trade agreements, that is facilitating the implementation, administration and operation of trade agreement, and monitoring members' trade policies, that is carrying out periodic reviews of trade policies. So these two are the correct options. So when we see C and D option, that is assisting in the establishment of multilateral system of payments and promoting international monetary cooperation, these two are the functions of International Monetary Fund, that is IMF. So the next question, functions of a first level or frontline supervisors are to include which of the following? So the options are to determine individual job assignment, to attend to grievances and resolve the conflicts, to provide technical knowledge and guidance to workers, to supply strategic information relating to production to management. So we have to choose the correct option. So the options given are A and B only, A and C only, A, B and C only, or all of them, that is all the 4. So the answer is all the 4, that is function of first level or frontline supervisor, the first level of supervisor. So the functions of a first level of supervisor are to determine individual job assignment, to attend to grievances and resolve conflicts, to provide technical knowledge and to guide workers, and to supply strategic information relating to production to management. These are the 4 functions of a first level or frontline supervisor. So let us see the explanation. So who is a frontline supervisor? Frontline supervisor is the person who works as per the directions given by the manager. So he is a person who is reporting to the manager directly. So that person is called the frontline supervisor. So the functions will be to enhance the relations with workers and staff members by communicating effectively with them and encouraging them to develop themselves. Then use good judgment while taking important decisions to ensure that all rules and regulations are being followed, and then to delegate and assign the work as per the priority and ensure that each worker performs his or her duties as per the standards that are required. Then make sure that every worker adheres by the company's rules, policies and regulations, and that he or she is warned if any misbehavior is observed within the company, and then to monitor and review the work of the workers and to provide recommendations to improve the quality and quantity of the work done. So these are the functions of frontline supervisors. So the next question is, quality circle is a type of options: problem solving team, cross-functional team, self-directed team and project team. So the correct option is problem solving team. So this quality circle comes under HRM, that is human resource management. So quality circle is a participatory management technique that enlists the help of employees in solving problems related to their own jobs. That is called quality circle. Next one is, which of the following terms means the tendency of a supervisor to rate a subordinate lower than his performance? So which of the following terms will lead a supervisor to rate a subordinate lower than his actual performance? Horn's effect, halo effect, central tendency, pointing tendency. So the correct option is Horn's effect. So let us see the meaning of each of the following effects. First one is Horn's effect. Horn's effect. The Horn's effect is a form of cognitive bias that causes one's perception of another to be unduly influenced by a single negative trait. So based, if any one single negative trait is found, that person will be judged as lower than the standard performer. So that is called Horn's effect. Next one is halo effect. The halo effect is a psychological state whereby a person may revert to using a general impression to judge an individual, usually in a positive light. So based on a general impression, so one person may have a general impression. Based on that impression, the performance may be rated. So that is called halo effect. Next one is central tendency effect. Central tendency error occurs when a rater does not give high or low ratings but tends to stay in the middle of the rating scale. So central tendency, he may not be higher or he may be not be lower. He will be in the mid range. He will be neutral. So the neutralized effect, that is called central tendency effect. So the next one, we have to match the following. So list 1, we have size of the market, demographic market, export oriented units and multinational cooperations. And in list 2, we have globalization of business, foreign trade policies, macro environment and non-economic environment. So we need to match the following. That is the which one associates with which one. List 1 associating with list 2, we need to match it. So first is size of the market. So size of the market comes in macro environment. Size of the market, macro environment, because it is related to the outside of the firm, that is called macro environment. Next is demographic environment. Demographic environment is non-economic environment, so that it does not have any impact on the economy, that is called non-economic environment. So demographics do not have any impact on the economy, that is called non-economic environment. Next is export oriented units. So export, obviously it is foreign trade policy, because foreign trade policy deals with imports and exports. Next is multinational corporations. Corporations. Multinational corporations means globalization of business. Multinational corporations are nothing but one particular company have extending its presence over many companies. That is called globalization, right? So multinational corporations is associated with globalization of business. So let us see the explanation. Macro environment refers to the general environment which affects the working of all business enterprises. That is the outside environment. That is the general environment. Non-economic environment refers to the environmental condition which does not have any direct impact on the economy. Then foreign trade policy, it mainly deals with the export and import activities of between the different countries. The next one is globalization of business is the presence of any business organization in many countries. So the next question, given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. So in UGC NET we have many questions like this, that is assertion and reasoning. One tip to follow this is you have to be strong in the concept. So if you know whether an assertion is right, you can interrelate it with the reason and find whether it is right. So the assertion, tax should not be charged on dividend income from the shareholders. So the reason is, some economists are of the opinion that when tax has already been paid on the profit of the company and balance is distributed as dividend to the owners, tax need not be levied on them. So we need to choose the correct option. First is both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Next is both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Next is A is true but R is false. So the right answer is both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. So what is the assertion? Tax should not be charged on dividend income from the shareholders. So dividend is a part of the profits, right? So the part of the profits which are distributed to the shareholders is called dividend. So tax should not be charged on the dividend income. Under Income Tax Act, it is said that dividend income is not chargeable to tax. So one more reason is profits are already the company already pays tax on the profits incurred. So out of the profits only dividend is distributed. So again tax need not be paid for that dividend. So let us see the explanation in detail. At present, dividends are not subject to tax in the hands of the shareholders except for certain category of resident taxpayers where dividend income exceeding rupees 10 lakhs attracts an additional tax at the rate of 10% under section 115 BBDA of the Income Tax Act. So under the section, that is under section 115 BBDA of Income Tax Act, dividend income which exceeds rupees 10 lakhs will attract an additional tax rate of 10%. So otherwise any dividend income which is less than 10 lakhs, any tax need not be paid for such dividend. Because dividend is a part of the profit, taxes are paid on profits earned and thus shareholders need not pay tax on the dividend which is distributed to them. So option A is the right answer. So the next question is, the countries are given and the type of agreement are given, that is double taxation agreements are given. So before going on to this question, what is a double taxation agreement? To avoid paying tax on same income twice, one can use provisions of double taxation avoidance agreement. That is, a person earns income in one country but he is a resident of another country, so he need not pay tax two times. That is called the agreement used for this is called double taxation avoidance agreement. So India has DTAA, that is double taxation avoidance agreement, with over 80 countries. It plans to sign such treaties with more countries. The major countries with which it has signed the DTAA are US, United Kingdom, UAE, Canada, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore and New Zealand. So with these countries mainly India has signed a treaty to avoid double taxation agreement. So I have also given a link The list of various country and the type of agreement followed are given. So let us see the question. The countries are Austria, Bahamas, Lebanon and Sri Lanka. So the types of agreement followed: limited agreement, comprehensive agreement or limited multilateral agreement, and tax information exchange agreement. So the answer for this: in Austria they follow comprehensive agreement, and then in Bahamas they follow tax information exchange agreement, and then in Lebanon they follow limited agreement, and then in Sri Lanka they follow limited multilateral agreement. So the for other countries the list of data is given. You can just have a glance of it, and you can make a note of the important countries that here I have mentioned, with which countries India has signed the DTAA. So see go through what type of agreement these countries follow, and any other important countries you think is important, you may follow that. So with this we are ending today's session of previous year questions. So I will be posting regularly of previous year questions, and along with the solution and explanation. So I feel personally that this is an excellent strategy to prepare for NET, because this is how I cleared NET, by practicing so many previous year papers. Study it along with the explanation so that you will be familiar with the concept. So you will try to learn more new concepts, and it will help you to analyze the question, and it will be when application oriented questions are asked, you will easily be able to answer it. So I'll be posting videos further for previous year questions. So subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications as and when I post such videos. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also after watching each video, share the videos with your friends who are aspiring to clear UGC NET, and also post in comments for any topics that you require.